an offside, a penalty, and a back pass is what actually went to undo Chelsea's performance away at Bayern Munich. But you also have to give Bayern Munich the credit for actually putting Chelsea in those situations. Now, in our video today, we do look an in-depth analysis on Vincent Kompany and Enzo Maresca tactical clash. We try to understand how did Bayern Munich get the best out of Chelsea? And why did Chelsea really struggle against Bayern Munich? Did it show the inexperience in Chelsea's squad in this game? Now, when you look at this lineup, this is the lineup that Chelsea used to beat PSG. And Maresca decided to go for the same lineup. But this time, it did not work because one key player was missing from this lineup. And that was Levi Colwill. Now, when you look at this lineup, the difference is in this new lineup, Levi Colwill was not there and Chelsea went for Tosin Adrabay. And I did a video saying that Chelsea will really struggle playing a right footer down the left. If you have not seen that video, check the link in the top comment section. Now, Harry Kane managed to score a brace against Chelsea. And Chelsea lost 3-1, which I think that they shouldn't even have conceded the third goal and probably would have gotten something into the game. But the third goal just ended the game for Chelsea. Cole Palmer managed to have a beautiful strike while making his Champions League debut for Chelsea. And we thought that probably Chelsea now had already gotten the lifeline to come into the second half and actually get the result. But that did not happen. So if you are new in this channel, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also subscribe to my second channel. The link will be at the top comment section. Now, when you look to understand this, you notice that look at these Chelsea players. And you realize that tactically, Chelsea were unable to cope with Bayern Munich. And why did Chelsea struggle against Bayern? Just want to show you something. This is the pressing structure that Bayern looked to employ. Now, you look down the left. Bayern Munich were trying to force Chelsea to play down the left. Why? Because they knew that down the left, it was a right footer. And down the left, the way they pressed was quite unique. Olise started in narrow, and also Kane started in narrow, looking to cut the passing lane of Caicedo and force the ball onto Tosin. See, the reason why they were doing this is that Bayern Munich were looking to press in a man-oriented fashion. But they were also looking to try and use their players to press in angles where they would cut central natural passing lanes to Chelsea. And this made it super impossible for Chelsea to actually play from the back. You can see here, the ball has been played. Tosin has been put under pressure. Olise has put Cucurella under pressure. Cucurella receives the ball and is immediately looking to be pressed. And this is what actually is creating problems because Bayern Munich was so good in their press that in this place, if Enzo was able to play the ball to Caicedo, then Chelsea would have been able to progress. Here again, look at Chelsea having the ball. Look at Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto is pressed here. Look at the position of Chalobah. Instead of kicking the ball out, he attempts to play the ball onto Robert Sanchez. Harry Kane is able to intercept that ball and actually score. Now, Chelsea would have managed to get away with this if they had a player who was making runs in behind. In that, if they had a player like Liam Delap, then Chelsea would have been able to beat this press. João Pedro was a player who liked to drop deep into space, unlike Liam Delap. Now, what do you notice with this structure? Bayern Munich, when they had the ball, they decided to move into a 3-1-4-2 structure. What I just told you, that is, they have their wingers high and wide. Then they have Kimmich dropping into that backline to play as a register, splitting those center backs. And then Harry Kane and Olise will be the ones picking up spaces in between the lines momentarily. And even sometimes we started to see the fullbacks looking to make runs in the channels. And especially down the right, Olise constantly kept on finding the right back who was making those runs into those half spaces. Now, I just want you to see here. Look at how Bayern Munich are looking to play and look at the overload they have created against Chelsea. Look, if Bayern Munich are able to play this ball directly towards the right, then they already find Chelsea outnumbered. This is because of the movement of Harry Kane and Olise that constantly kept dragging Chelsea centre-backs out of position. Here you can see Bayern Munich, they are looking to play with that back three. Chelsea are looking to try and settle in a narrow defensive situation. But despite Chelsea looking to sit in this kind of scenario, I just want you to watch what happens next. Look at the position of Gnabry. Gnabry, who's the number 10, drops from that number 10 position to come and even out numbers during build-up. Now, instead of Reece James sticking behind and allowing Gnabry to have the ball since he can be covered by João Pedro, he decides to step out. The ball is played towards the wide centre back, and now João Pedro is looking to apply that pressure. Fernandes goes to Kimmich, and you can see now space has started to open up in that midfield, courtesy of Reece James stepping out. And because Chelsea are looking to try and press Bayern Munich in this fashion, what happens is that Olise now starts to drop deep because the right back has looked to occupy that space high up the pitch. And then once the right back has decided to occupy that space high up the pitch, look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane is dropping so deep that he's actually looking to try and drag a centre back out of position, then open space where the opposition could actually have a player making runs in behind. Kimmich has the ball here. He can spot the position that Harry Kane has picked. And look at Harry Kane. Nobody is following him. And look at Chelsea's players. They are ball watching. They cannot even step out to press Kimmich. That's why if you are looking to make a press, make it full-heartedly. Do not try to make a press half-heartedly, because when you make a press half-heartedly, then you're not able to give maximum, you're not going to get the maximum output of what you want. Here, Chelsea have decided to settle in a narrow front four, but again, they are unable to actually press. And look at now, Bayern Munich's movement has disoriented Chelsea's structure. Reece James is marking no one. Caicedo is looking to step out to a player who is very close to Fernandes, and look at the front three. Even Palmer does not understand his position. Now the ball is played out wide. Palmer is coming towards the ball. Look at Reece James. I'm telling you that Reece James did not understand his role in that midfield, because Reece James is actually stepping up to press a player who Palmer has actually covered. And this is opening space in midfield. Now Reece James again steps out to press this other player, and look at the position that Reece James is occupying. Reece James is just occupying that position, but Bayern Munich there is no passing lane that is looking to actually cut or stop. Here again, Fernandes is looking now to press, and look at Chelsea. They went to press Bayern Munich, and nobody was covering the wide player. And Neto, who was supposed to cover him, was actually inside. This is how disoriented Chelsea's press were. So the ball is played towards the right back. Look at the position that Olise is picking up. And Olise is coming very short. And now Cucurella is the one who stepped out to try and cover that fullback. Now, once Olise receives the ball, now watch this. The right back who made the overlapping run is now in space. Cucurella cannot step out to stop Olise. And now, you notice one thing. Bayern Munich are receiving the ball with acres of space in between. Chelsea's front and midfield lines are taken out. And now Bayern Munich are attacking Chelsea's backline with numbers. So it was all about the pressing and how Chelsea's structure was constantly being dragged out. I think the team did not understand the zonal or man-marking system of pressing, and that's why they pressed very terribly. Now, what I want to say here again is that I have explained why Chelsea really struggled to build from the back. It's something they struggled with against Fulham. It's something they struggled with against Brentford. And one thing they struggled with was probably the lack of Liam Delap to actually make those runs. And number two, the struggle also came because they are playing a right-footed centre-back down the left. And that's why the teams have realized that if there is an angle in which you press Tosin, and you'll always win the ball of Chelsea. Now, if you want to understand why I'm saying that Chelsea are really struggling with their build-up, check this video.